Hey everybody, welcome back to the shop. So, this video is going to be more of a tips and tricks, bits and pieces video. I used to do them way back when, but if you ever wanted to make any of these guys with thin strips on the table saw, it's kind of a pain in the neck to get repeatability unless you have one of these simple little jigs. And I'm going to show you how I made this. It took me all of about 20 minutes. And I'm going to show you how you use it. And when you have one of these things, you will be like, how did I get along without that? So stick with me and let's get started. So we begin with a 4" by 4" block of wood, two of them actually. If I do my math, there's two of them laying there. And you're going to want to use hardwood for this. It's going to need some strength because we're going to put a T-nut in the end of it and we don't want it to crack. So we'll do some pilot holes here. Then I'll hit the countersink into the top of them just to give the screw heads somewhere to go so they're not hitting the table saw. And I have a tough time getting the countersink to line up here in the drill, but eventually I get it. Strategically place the screws on the top of the workbench. Look for the glue bottle. Wait a minute, my wife has it. Slap some glue on the bottom side of this thing and smear it around with the best tool for glue, which happens to be your finger. And make a sandwich. What I'm doing there is trying to make sure that edge is smooth and flush. But I'm going to go around later anyway and run it through the saws to make sure they are flush, smooth, parallel, etc. So now that I've got the edges smoothed up, we're going to slap this thing in a vise. I'm going to locate center so I can drill the hole for the bolt. Now when I drill this hole, I am angling it ever so slightly downward, 1, 2, maybe 3 degrees, just enough so that I know the head of that bolt is pointing a little bit downward towards the table when I continue the build. And I'll take 1/8" drill bit and work my way up to 5/16.
So here what I'm going to do is I'm going to tap on that T-nut so the teeth will give me some points where I can see where they're going to go in. Then I'm going to drill pilot holes. If you don't do that, you will split the wood when you drive that T-nut in. I'm going to mix up some 5-minute epoxy. Now be careful when you put this in to glue this T-nut in, you don't want to get it into threads. So you want to be extremely careful. Get it into the pilot holes for the teeth and just on the outside of the hole for the T-nut to set into. If you put too much in there, the epoxy will bubble into the threads and the project will be over. You'll get to start again. You're going to want to take a file to the top of that bolt and remove the numbers and the maker marks off the top of there so that you have a consistent, smooth surface. And no better place to hold it than in the T-nut like I'm doing here. Just take your time, smooth that off. You shouldn't feel any bumps or ridges or anything when you're done. The runner's made out of another piece of oak. You want it to be snug but not bind. The washers lift the piece up just enough so it's just sticking up above the surface of the table. Take a pencil and mark each side so I know where to put the glue. Using regular old wood glue here, and then we're going to add some CA glue on each side of it, just a little bit, to hold it until the wood glue cures. Getting low on the old CA glue. Going to have to place an order pretty soon. A little activator, and I'm putting the head of that bolt right against that blade, pushing down, lining up the block with my marks. I'm going to hold it in place for 10 seconds until the CA glue cures, and then we'll be good to go.
Okay, so you've seen a few cuts I've made with this. Now let me explain to you how this thing works. So you loosen up your lock nut here, and you can roll this thing in or out. The adjustment is infinite at this point. What you'll do is, this is kind of a trial and error technique till you get the thickness of the strip you're looking for, but for sake of argument, let's say I wanted to go about that wide off of that blade. You will measure from the end of the carriage bolt to the edge, outside edge of the blade, the carbide tooth. So once you have that wherever you want it, then you'll lock it back down with the lock nut. You don't have to get crazy because this thing isn't going to be in the way when you're running the saw. So you just gently lock it down. And then the idea is that you can take a larger chunk of wood and slice it off and get the pieces you're looking for, instead of having to bring your fence all the way over here and risk of doing that right there. So the way this works is, you kind of saw it before, but you have this positioned here, it's a constant. You slide your fence over till your stock touches the bolt, lock it down, take this out, and make your cut. It'll be smaller obviously at that point, so you bring it back around to the front, slide your board over till it touches the bolt, lock it down, take this out, and make the cut. Repeat that process until you have the desired number of strips that you're looking for. It's such a simple tool that it's incredible how easy it is, and it allows you to take a larger chunk and keep that blade away from your fence. You just slide them through, and the waste material that comes off is the strip you're looking for. So I hope you got something out of this video. I hope you liked the video. I know it's a little different than a Sunday project video. We're working on a project. We're hoping we'll get something out next week. I'm not going to make any promises, but we're going to build 2 or 3 of them, and we're going to go through the process of how we did it. So again, I hope you got something out of the video. I hope you liked the video. Please like, please subscribe. Subscribing doesn't cost you anything. And as always, we'll catch you on the next one.